Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today on another episode. Today, I am actually accompanied by Daniel. Daniel is a multifamily and retail investor on the East Coast. And what Daniel has been doing since he was 19 years old is flipping commercial property, both multifamily and retail. And being that he started so young, there is definitely value in this conversation for people of all ages, including teenagers and preteens who are teenagers, preteens, and young adults who are interested in doing the same thing that Daniel's doing. So, without further ado, Daniel, take the mic. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let everybody know what you do.
Hey, how you guys doing today? My name is Daniel Omamurheme. So pretty much my company name is Visionary State LLC. Pretty much I specialize and we specialize in acquisitions. So pretty much we can be able to find residential, commercial, and as well land properties, and not just in Georgia, but honestly anywhere in the Southeast and Midwest. I have been able to fortunately blessed enough to find a 20-unit multifamily in Fairfield, Alabama by myself, without any help of any mentor holding my hand, or without any a broker guiding me or anything like at all. I was able to find that. I've been able to get in touch with a owner of a 52-unit multifamily in Dayton, Ohio, and I've also, got in touch with multiple owners in Florida. So pretty much my company, or just not just my company, but me, I specialize in acquisitions.
All right, so you were able to close a lot of deals in a short period of time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, most definitely. Still building up my resume to try to close a little bit more better deals. Sales market has, been in favor of sellers when it comes to the investment side of real estate. But definitely, I mean, I've done what I've been able to do without any help, without anybody holding my hand. Just it's been me and my business partner, but just I didn't have any help by any multi-millionaire, billionaire partner holding my hand, guiding me throughout. I've just been learning it by myself, step by step, day by day.
So you hustled
Yeah, pretty
and got the
much.
job done. So you found motivation within yourself to do this, which is great.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the deals a little bit further later in the call. But for right now, tell me, where did your interest in commercial real estate start, and how did you find the motivation to just hit the floor running at such a young age?
Yeah, I mean, so pretty much growing up, well, at least for a lot of young black men, growing up, they always wanted to play either basketball, football, or baseball. So growing up, I definitely did have interest in trying to pursue the NFL. Uh, you know, But at a young age, honestly, for at a young age, it started off, you know, it's gonna sound kind of corny, but I used to watch MTV Cribs, and that used to be nice. But I think it's really the interest really started at 10 years old, because I used to see how people, I used to get like magazines. Anytime I used to go with my mom to Kroger, I used to get magazines of like houses of people like either selling houses, or people like, I used to just be so intrigued and so invested in just the way the houses were either built, designed, or just any of that. So that's where it started off. But as a commercial, I feel like it made the most sense. Reason why, because it's, more, not just more money, but it's definitely more opportunities. Whereas, let's say you own a multifamily, and pretty much, it's, let's say it's 8 units. Pretty much you own, in a way, you own 8 single family properties. But most people in single family homes, or that have only interest in single family homes, they try to buy 8 properties and try to get cash flow from each and every unit. Whereas let's say you own an apartment complex, or even let's say 10 units, you getting paycheck from paycheck from each and every tenant. So
Mhm.
that's where, kind of interest me kind of made the most sense. But then to I gave more effort to educate myself on commercial triple net lease option. You can go ahead and look that up for yourself, commercial and. So pretty much that is a life-changing opportunity that I'm really, really working hard to try to build enough capital to actually do that because that's the golden nugget for me, at least for what I like to say.
Yeah, which is actually interesting because your story is actually a little bit like mine because my mom used to go and look at model homes all the time. And then
Yeah,
I remember we went to look at this model home on top of a hill, and it's when I saw it and I looked at the inside, I was probably, I think I was like 12, 13. And when I saw it, I was like, this is what I want to do, like
yeah,
real estate. And then just like you, I saw more opportunity and more desire to do commercial real estate versus residential. But your story is just as corny as mine, I could say, because it was the same thing over here. I was like, yeah. So from that point on, I never saw myself doing anything else but real estate. Like, this is me right here. So I could totally relate to that. So you took a different path than I did because I chose agent investor and you chose flipper. What was the biggest deal or your happiest, the one deal that you did where you felt like I accomplished something and this is it for me?
I could definitely say the 20 unit multifamily deal that I did in Birmingham,
Mm-hmm.
just because I mean a lot of people was like just stick to one thing, or you can't be able to do it, or you're unexperienced, you're this and that, this and that, this and that. Oh, it's too hard for you to try to buy a property or flip a property out of state. You're too young. But I mean, definitely necessarily don't believe on the naysayers, but definitely give the effort to educate yourself, come up with a system, right? I mean, the word system really does have a big effect on just structuring a business. Have great communication skills. I'm not trying to be negative, but a lot of my peers don't have great communication skills,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have to be able to pretty much talk effectively, to be able to communicate with people effectively, be very, very confident, be very, very determined, and speak with a manner of, and just two as well, you got to be educated. I mean, you got to know what you're doing. You got to understand what are you going to get yourself into before you go all full throttle with anything at all. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, I kind of already knew what I was getting myself into because I gave the effort to deeply educate myself once I even started to do deal. And I was very, very, from talking to the owner, I knew what I was talking about. I was asking questions. Okay, how much per unit will be the rehab? So does it need drywalls? Does it need electrical plumbing? Does it need this and that, this and that? So I was able to pretty much flip this property sight unseen. I wasn't even there in person. So I was able to build enough rapport, get enough photos, get enough just enough information to be able to give him an offer, negotiate it well, talk to him to made it make sense to him. I was able to get it under contract for only 120, $120,000. You can't even find a property like that in California,
You
not even in
no,
Georgia.
try to get it as a down payment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Good
so
luck.
we made a purchase, a PSA. So PSA is purchase and sale agreement for only $120,000, and the
Mm-hmm.
ARV for this property was actually at 900 grand. So just imagine if you do the numbers right. So you buy the property at 120, but yeah, let's say you got to put in like 32 to 23K worth of work, right?
Mm-hmm.
For per unit for 20 units. You still got equity like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even it's not even okay, you got max, you all in at let's say 550 or 400, but you still got what 400, 300 grand of equity in that
Mm-hmm.
property. So
And when you
unfortunately,
sold it, how much did you sell it for?
I only sold it for 200 grand and just made like 80 grand profit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, I didn't have, like I said, I didn't have that multi-millionaire partner to co-buy it with. I just
Right.
did it on my own. So
Yeah,
pretty
but
much,
you
I
did
made it
it on
happen.
your own, which is good, that's inspiring for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, you did it on your own. what did you do prior to that to gain the knowledge and the experience to be able to flip it?
I mean, honestly, like knowledge is definitely power, but knowledge is free,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can go on YouTube, you can go on Google, but then too as well, don't get me wrong, I definitely was already involved in it just by practice and error, right? So anytime that I got in touch with, let's say, an owner, even here in Georgia or Atlanta, and I try to just talk to them, and I was just inexperienced. I just didn't know what I was talking about. And then as time went by, I started to figure out, okay, well, for you to effectively evaluate a multifamily, you have to be able to figure out what is the cap rate, right? You have to be able to figure out, you have to be able to get the rent rolls, the financials, the expenses. You have to be able to calculate all of these numbers and actually be able to, effectively determine a purchase price or at least an offer to make
Mm-hmm.
to the seller. So as time went by, I definitely gradually picked the pieces together and be able to actually understand, okay, well, this is what I'm doing. And so that's how it's been. Just
So you basically used the resources that were available to you. You had conversations with people, which I'm pretty sure was trial and error
yeah,
when it came to talking to investors, and it also came with YouTube University, which a lot of
yeah,
people attend. And then,
yeah.
are you a licensed agent there, or are you doing
Oh
this
no, I mean,
unlicensed?
I definitely will get licensed in Georgia, and I want to get licensed in three different states.
Mm-hmm.
It's for a reason because it's gonna look more, it's gonna stand out. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's for later on. But no, I'm not licensed at the
Okay.
moment.
All right. So you were able to accomplish all this without being licensed.
Yeah, pretty
All right.
much.
And then, so when it came to the capital for purchasing this deal for 120 K, where did you get the capital from?
So pretty much, I'm connected and I've built a relationship with DFW, Civic Capital, and a few other lenders. So there was either I wanted to do that route, but then pretty much all I did a assignment of contract,
Hmm.
and then pretty much I flipped it to another investor.
All right. So explain what an assignment and contract is.
So pretty much is assignment of contract is pretty much you assigning the rights to the PSA to the contract to another party.
Hmm.
So any legal terms on the contract, you're able to pretty much transfer that over to a interested party that wants to purchase the property itself. And this is you're able to do this in United States of America for sure.
Anywhere, yeah. So
Yeah.
you didn't really have to put the money in
No.
yourself.
No.
OPP is the
No.
name.
Yeah.
OPP?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
OPP is the name of the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
So that's
So
how you were able to get it done. So you were able to purchase a property sight unseen with no money,
yeah.
and then do the rehab on the property, and then you flipped it and made 80K on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, which is good. So in order to do that, that's not something that everybody could do. So there is also a set of skills that are required to get something like that done. uh what's important to be able to do the deal like you did, as far as skills are concerned?
Skills definitely. I mean, it doesn't matter how long it might take. Right? You just gotta just go out there, like don't be nervous, because at the end of the day, like you only got one life to live. You
Mm-hmm.
know, just educate yourself. That really matters the most. I mean, the thing about it is the knowledge that I have, it gives me faith and hope for the future. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like as long as you have so much knowledge, deep, deep knowledge that you know for a fact is going to help you change your life for the
Mm-hmm.
better. That's all that necessarily matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, even if God forbid, only got $5 million in my account, like the next day, whatever it might be, right? I know I have, okay, cool. I have that knowledge that's going to help me out with my future. So definitely take the time, learn, take the time, learn. I mean, that's really all that matters. Just deeply educating yourself, giving the effort to just learn step by step by step. Like, even if you fail for a whole year of you trying, as long
Don't
as you
give up on
continuously,
yourself.
yeah, no, it definitely don't. I mean, because I've been doing this without anybody holding my hand.
Hmm.
So I
So
mean,
since then, have you been able to build a team, or is it just still you and the other person?
oh yeah, my business partner, she's actually a broker. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of do, not just kind of, I have to. I operate in a very, very professional manner. So even on my emails, you see Visionary State LLC, my phone number, this and that, and it's just very, very professional. But other than that, it's me and my partner. Yeah, I mean, me and my partner, and just a good amount of connections that I made. I went to Apartments Education event in Houston. I've I flew myself out without anybody. Like, purchased a ticket for the event. Went out there, talked to grown multi-millionaires, shaking their hand, not afraid of anything at all. Just talking to them, just trying to network. You know,
Confidence.
confident. Yeah, a 21-year-old kid did that. That
Yeah.
was actually that was actually early this year. Did that on
Yeah.
my yeah.
You
So
did okay. So, and then too, a lot of terms are important too when having these professional conversations and being able to enter these rooms, and them not being able to tell you from being a beginner to being a expert. So, what would you say is if you're thinking about flipping, what are the important terms that you need to know in, or like the first thing? For example, like we got triple net, you need to know what triple net is. Like you said, you need to know what cap rates are. You know, you need to know how to underwrite properties and know these numbers off of the top of your head. What else do you think enable to be able to speak in commercial real estate lingo? What would you say that is?
I mean, like for one thing, to make sure that you don't, make yourself look like you're not unexperienced, you definitely need to know what you are talking about, because there are certain people that are kind of they have a little bit arrogant attitude. They will bring you down.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, just know what you're talking about, know what you're doing. Terms like, okay, what is the cap rate? Okay, so how much will the long term be? Is it going to be 30-year rate? How is the expenses? How a lot of these stuff truly does matter. So you
Mm-hmm.
can be able to at least keep a conversation with another investor
Right.
or
Num
with
like
another.
numbers are important
Yeah,
to investors. That's
numbers.
really what
Yeah,
they look at. So they need
yeah,
to you need to know about IRR, you need to know about return on investments. You need
yeah.
to know there's a lot of bank terms involved,
NOI,
LTVs,
NOI,
NOI.
cap
Yeah.
rate, especially cap. I mean, that's not like, because don't get me wrong, location, yes, it does matter for commercial and multifamily just because of growing population, jobs, stuff. But there's investors that necessarily don't care about any of that. You have to understand, okay, what is A class area? What is a B class area? What is a C class area? All
Mhm.
these stuff truly does matter, but the numbers, I mean, that's the first thing that most people would just come out of their mouth. What are the
What are the
numbers?
numbers?
That they don't care about anything else. What are the numbers? Okay,
Right.
how is it going to be? How is it going to perform? What is the
Mm-hmm.
pro formula? All of these stuff truly does matter, but but in order for you to keep a conversation going with somebody that's in their 50s and 60s that have been doing it for decades upon decades, just educate yourself. Take that
Mm-hmm.
time for even 9 months just to educate yourself. Give the effort. I mean, because if person that started with no help, nobody holding their
Mm-hmm.
hand, could gradually do it, you can too. So that's really all that matters.
Have you felt like some people have turned you away because of how old you are?
I definitely, my partner told me, I just don't tell your age, but a lot of people have, unfortunately, because I am a truthful person. I always tell people the truth. They'll be like, "Yeah, I'm just young man trying to
Mm-hmm.
make it happen," and unfortunately, people have. Uh, uh, the people that I've, the few people that have closed deals with, I told them I was like, "Wow, you actually 21 doing this." But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely people have turned me down just because of the age and
Mm-hmm.
the color. But at the end of the day, definitely don't allow that to hinder your mind. But just make it happen. So that's all that really matters, to make it happen.
Mm-hmm. So for you as an entrepreneur in flipping properties, what does a regular day look like to you? What do you do?
I mean, from start to finish, because I am training for a marathon, not to brag, but so I wake up by 4 a.m. in the morning. roll out my legs, hit. I have like a scheduled program now, so during the week is like speed workouts. Saturdays is like long distance run, whatever like that. Wake up, do my workout, hurry back to the house, start my day by 10, 11 a.m. My VAs, they report back to the CRM, which is my software system, to plug in any people that are interested in selling, giving them
And
a
VA
call.
is a virtual assistant.
Yeah, a
Mhm.
virtual assistant, because I used to have about like three, but I only have like one now. But I mean, the one is still very, very effective. Call the people that are interested, build a rapport, ask them all the questions, ask them about cap rate, NOI. I show them any documentation that they need from me. I request for documentations. Communicate. I mean, follow up, follow up, follow up. I mean, I kid you not. Like I had a deal that I was following up for like 7 months, and then cool. 5 months later, I close on it, make a big payday. So follow up is key. Communication is key. I mean, all my peers don't understand this. Communication is key. So definitely, I mean that's how my day-to-day basis is. Wake up in the morning, work out. During the day is business.
So, if you were to talk to kids, preteens, and break this down to a way that they could understand and know that, they could aspire to be anything they want, including a real estate flipper or a real estate agent, or just, somebody that, just like yourself, said that they didn't have the help, didn't have anybody to do it with, what would you tell them to
Don't
motivate
overthink.
them?
Don't overthink. I mean, thinking too hard can kill somebody, can kill time, can kill yourself, in your mind of self-doubt, negative thoughts. Just take action. I
Mhm.
mean, because full of transparency, I'm still in college while I got so much stuff to juggle, right? So it's like,
Mhm.
you ain't got no excuses, right? I mean, you ain't
You
got no excuses.
hustle.
Yeah, I mean, I made a dean's list still doing what I do, right? I mean, so there's really no excuses at all. Try, don't be so doubtful of yourself. Don't overthink. Just take action. The less you overthink, the less you. I mean, it's like me running 12 miles, right? 12 miles this upcoming Saturday. If I think too hard about it, I won't be able to effectively make it happen. So just take action and just go for it. And that's it.
So be like
Obviously,
Nike and just do it.
you just do it. I mean, obviously, don't get me wrong. Definitely educate yourself. Definitely. I mean, like really, really take the time, know what you're doing, but just take action.
Hmm.
And just be patient. Take action, be patient, and stay consistent. Those three
Yeah.
things. It's
Which,
easy.
and then too, I do want to mention, even though you did it alone, which, bravo to you. A lot of times it is important for young adults, to get mentors or to find people in their neighborhood that do what they want to do and hang out with those people and try to learn by doing, learn the experience, watch them, go to work with them and, paint a wall, do something, learn about electricity, learn how the math behind the investment so you could aspire to be something better, and then some people come from, inner cities and they don't have a lot of people around them, a lot of support, but just find one person that's willing to take you under their wing and show you what can be done,
Yeah,
which is definitely important.
yeah,
So yeah, but for you, more power to you for doing it alone, but it's just like, if you don't have to, don't, because I mean, you still have one partner, you do,
yeah,
and then it it makes things, it makes it easier on yourself when you
yeah,
have people to back you and be there for you.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, no, I mean, yeah, most definitely. Like it's really all about humbling yourself because not too many people are able to do that. I mean,
Mhm.
even if the person that wants to take you under your wing is offering you something that you necessarily don't like, just take the. I mean, you're still young.
Mhm.
Like I'm
The
talking to
knowledge is
yeah,
invaluable. Whatever
yeah,
you do, you got to take something from it.
I mean, from like you gotta take, you really do. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're 18, you're 24, or even 25. I mean, you still got time, right? You still got time, but at the same time, the situation is you got to take that experience, everything they may be doing, that mental may be doing on a day-to-day basis. You gradually learn from it, taking notes. It's like simple stuff like this, right? When you're on the phone with sellers, for me, I try not to call people by Mr. or Mrs. Reason why, that already established dominance in their mind, especially during the sales market. Man, I got abused early on just because I called them Mr. and Mrs. and try to sound respectful, right? But then they kind of had that authority figure. So, that's one of the things I kind of like learned from even high level skilled acquisitions people from big corporate companies. They call them by their first name, Frederick, Michael, hey, how you doing? Just because they pretty much it puts that same level of
As an
like, hey,
equal.
as an equal, not as a you're dominant more than me. So definitely it's stuff like that. That it's a psychology type of thing.
Hmm.
But then too as well, definitely be humble enough just to take that offer. Anybody that offers you to say, yeah, I'll take under my wing and teach you and take the time, definitely take that time, definitely take that, accept that offer because you never know what it might bring you. It might bring you multiple opportunities upon opportunities within
Hmm.
the next future. So yeah, for sure.
Okay, which is good. So we're gonna wrap up this call. So, uh, you got any closing words or anything you want to tell people?
I mean, just take action, be have faith, stay consistent, and just make it happen.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And what deals do you got going on now?
I have a 8 unit in Birmingham once again. Birmingham in Florida is about to be my bread and butter, my specialty in my opinion, just because I see those markets,
Hmm.
especially Birmingham. Yeah, yeah. Another advice. So Atlanta is like booming, established, but it's gone. There's not really
Hmm.
too much opportunities, for my upcoming people or even experienced people. Try to give the effort to why not just be open minded to a different state. Be open minded to different states. All these lower class neighborhoods or all these places that are still like Motown. Motown, what state was Motown in? Like Detroit,
Hmm.
right? Indiana. There's a lot of opportunities. I mean, I hope people are listening to me as I'm talking. Birmingham, Indiana, Detroit, some of these states, they got some big, big opportunities. Better if you start now to establish and try to make something happen now than later. But yeah, I mean that's really it. That's really it. Yeah.
All right, so we might end up doing this again in a little bit, so you could give a little bit more advice. And I do thank you for joining me on the call today. Your story is very inspirational, and good luck on the marathon.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
The marathon continues.
Yes, man. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna say bye, and we'll see you again next time. Thank you, Daniel.